Christy,
Hi, Vandy. How are you?
doing good. How have you
Good.
been?
Pretty good. How about you? You
Doing
just
good.
answered that. I'm like,
Yeah. It's okay. Did you have a good Easter?
yeah, it was pretty nice. How about you?
Awesome. It was good. Yeah, we had a big like Easter party with friends, like a big pitch-in, so it was a lot of fun.
Oh, fun. That's
Yeah, our
great.
friend Christy actually is her name,
Oh,
made turkey, and then our buddy Brandon grilled chicken, and I made a sweet potato casserole, and we just all kind of like pitched in different things. It was fun.
that is fun. Yay.
Yeah.
It's a lot less work that way.
Right. Yes, exactly. Also, we got to see some friends we haven't seen for a while too, so that was
Oh, that's
pretty
super
nice.
cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So, alrighty. So since I saw you last, tell me what you've
Mhm.
been up to and then kind of thinking where we're at right now and where
Sure.
we want to get to, um, what we want to do from here.
Yep. So we had spring break and we had Easter. So
Yes.
we had a little bit of time that we didn't do anything. Um, and then so I did do a couple of the like romance book auditions.
Okay.
Um, I didn't put a lot of time into it. I was trying to just get them out.
Yeah.
So I think maybe we could work on an audition. The other thing
Yeah.
I'm working on is getting my scripts done for my podcast thing. Um,
Yes.
yeah, and I think I kind of have a solid character for me. Um, but then in my conversation with ChatGPT, we were talking about having like an additional like radio producer kind of thing that just
Right.
throws
Yeah.
in a random comment here and there.
Okay.
So I thought that might be fun to kind of work on.
Sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, just so you have as much variety as possible, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So, things like, radio, podcasting, um, YouTube series, um, you know, we want as much variety as possible. So, character voices, I feel like are the thing everybody thinks of first, right? When they
Right.
think of voiceover. But there's commercials and e-learning and like museum tour guide voices and,
Right.
like narrating a Discovery Channel show,
Yeah.
There's a lot of other things that you can be doing. And they all have a little bit of a different style. So, like one of my students, she's gotten so good at the character voices, but then her husband is writing a YA novel. And she's going to be the one narrating it. And she's like, oh, this is really different, to have
Yeah.
the narrator voice and then the different characters throughout. And she's like, okay, so like as the character ages through time and stuff, like just all the different things that go into it. She's like, oh, okay. And she's so used to focusing on the one character voice, right?
Right.
And even the narrator is such a different feel for her than doing the actual character voices. So
Yes.
yeah, so
I
it's different styles, right? And
right.
so
Right.
getting where you feel comfortable, but then you also um, you know, feel like you are able to say like I am competent in this area and I can do this as, a job kind of a thing,
Right.
So, yeah,
Yes.
part of the journey and the process. So,
Yeah. It's fun.
it is fun. I personally like the variety. It keeps me on my toes, keeps me growing and doing new things. So,
Yes.
personally I like it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I
I
think
can't say
doing
that.
radio style stuff like
Right.
from podcasting that's a logical transition.
Yes. Yeah. No, I think that like the podcast thing that will be radio style, whatever, um, is gonna be easy.
Yeah,
Like it's not hard. The voice is kind of slow and warm and
right.
whatever. Um, and I really don't think it should be like multiple voices in a story. Like if the
Yeah.
person behind the mic is telling a story, they're just going to tell the story and
Yeah.
not have like, the little boy said and then do a little
Yeah.
boy voice. So,
Exactly. Yeah. Right. Like Paul Harvey or something. And that's the
right,
rest of
right.
the
And
story.
oh my gosh, I've
Yeah.
been listening to those so much on TikTok. It's
Oh,
so
really?
silly. Yeah,
Okay. And you're like, I can do that.
I can do that. I can tell you a
Easy.
story.
Right,
Yes.
exactly. Yeah, and
Yeah.
and so yeah, it's a different energy, it's like you're saying, it's more of just a storyteller rather than um narrating full out. And I would say even in narration with fiction, you're going to have three different ways that authors or publishing companies generally want you to approach it. One
Hmm.
is where you have a narrator voice and then you have distinct different character voices.
Right.
Um, in my opinion, it's better if they want that, if they hire multiple narrators, but sometimes they'll hire just the single narrator and they still want all the different voices. And if you can do that, that I think is one of the most challenging job types you can get, but it definitely will stretch you as a voice actor,
Right.
help you sharpen your skills. Um, the second way is where they say, I want, a subtle change. Like they want to know that it's like a female character, a male character, with like an attitude shift for different characters. So they don't want a full on character voice for each character, but they still want to be able to hear, okay, this is a different character now. It's a different voice. Then
Okay.
the other way that they'll ask you to do it is they say, you know what, I just want you to read it in your normal voice and just like you're saying, more storytelling style. Um, so with that, I kind of stay in the same voice, but I still change the attitude a little bit. I always make sure to pause whenever I change from narrator to a character or a character to another character, just to signal, hey, this is a different person now. Um, my voice stays just my regular voice, but then
Hmm.
the attitude might change or the pacing might change a little bit. So I don't really do anything, where I go higher pitched or lower pitched or I add nasality. None of
Right.
that. I stay myself, but I still want to signal that this is a new character in some way.
Okay.
So those would be the three ways that they kind of will ask you to do it, and it really depends on the person. Um, I would say, nonfiction narration is always just going to be your regular voice, but
Right.
fiction narration is where you'll get stretched a little bit more as a voice actor. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So I personally think that playing a single character for, a cartoon or something is far easier than
Oh,
doing a
yeah.
narration project where they want all the different characters.
Right.
That can be pretty like, whew, this is a workout, right? For your brain and
Exactly.
your vocal chops. So yeah.
Yeah, no,
Um,
because yeah, it's a lot of work. And I applaud people who can do all of that with like ha
mhm.
not having to stop because I
Yeah,
always feel like I need to take a
starting, stopping.
hard stop
Yeah.
to shift characters and like say
Mhm.
like how you taught me like say a specific line and
Right.
that's how we're going to get back to that character. I might
Mhm.
keep recording and just cut it out later, but I
Right.
need to like I can't just shift from voice to voice very quickly.
Yeah. And I do think that's pretty normal to have to
Yeah.
do. I also think that in time, you'll just have kind of a tool belt full of different voices that you can start to pull from. But
Hmm.
earlier on, you don't have that, um, Rolodex of voices just at the ready. And
Right?
so it's, later on, you'll just be able to be like, oh, I could use this voice I created for this other project, and just pull things out. But then, when you're creating all new character voices, it's a lot more complex.
Right.
So, yeah, I think that's something that will come with time. You'll go, oh, I'm getting much quicker at this
Yes.
in
Which
time.
is nice. And
Yeah.
hopefully, yeah, I'm like, yay.
Right.
Um,
So that's where I think starting with things that have fewer characters, things that are a little more simple, like children's books or like middle school aged, or, a child's book could have like two characters and a narrator. And
Right.
then, if it's like a middle school book, maybe it's four friends and a mom, and that's all the characters you have. But then you get into like a sci-fi book and you could have 30 different characters.
Right.
And so it's like, well, that's exhausting,
That's a
you know?
lot of characters. Yes.
So the more like mature your audience, I would say, the
Hmm.
more complex that can get. But with the rom-com kind of stuff, usually you'll have a lot of the time they'll go chapter by chapter, and you'll have like this is from the female perspective, this is from the male perspective, and it just shifts back and forth. And so it is a little bit more straightforward. So I think that's a good place to kind of be. And then with that, a lot of the time, they just kind of want you to sound a little more manly and a little more feminine. So I just kind of go like a little higher pitched and then a little lower pitched,
Right.
with an
Just
attitude
nice and
shift.
easy.
Yeah. Because pretty much everything is like from each of their perspectives. So I think that keeps it a little more straightforward. So that
Right.
I think is a good place to maybe focus, because I
Okay.
definitely feel like you've got a good sound for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, okay. So
Okay.
you said that you were trying to do more radio style type
Hmm.
scripts. Um, I would say that we're kind of transitioning away from traditional radio into more podcasting or like YouTube series, that kind of thing. Um, More of this new media era, but it still has that similar sound to it. So,
Okay.
um, so, if you get a job at a radio station, great. But
Right.
if you don't, there's still a lot out there that's in that same vein.
Okay.
Even if you're doing things like the podcast intros and outros for somebody else,
Okay.
or like ads for them, that kind of thing.
Okay.
So, yeah. Did you
Yay.
have any like scripts in mind, or um, particular, did you find like an audition that you wanted to look at for that?
I did not at this point. Like so
Okay.
far, I've just kind of been working on my own like storyteller kind of
Yeah,
thing that is radio sounding.
sure.
Um
Yeah,
and like trying to produce it with a radio sound.
absolutely.
Uh yeah, so
Okay.
yeah, that's all I've done so far.
Totally cool. Yeah. So I know that you were making your own like bedtime stories
Hmm.
with the character voice already, like podcast style, um, for a YouTube channel. So this could be something you could do yourself as a
Hmm.
podcast or a YouTube series type thing. I think you can have multiple YouTube channels as long as you have different emails that you set it up with. Um, but you also could do like playlists as well within the same YouTube channel, and
Hmm.
have like this playlist and this playlist and this playlist, and it's the different voices and styles and characters and story
Yeah.
types.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Um,
Because I was thinking about like, would it be beneficial? Like, if I'm gonna have this one for like adults, would it be also beneficial to do something similar for like not kids, but something that is more like kid friendly?
yeah,
Um, like I
yeah,
don't
you
think
could
it's,
definitely do that.
and either with the same character, create a different character.
And with
Um,
that, when you first are uploading them to YouTube, you can say that it's made for kids. So, like you can put that as a classification, and then they'll include it. They'll It's findable for adults too, but it'll be
okay.
included in kid only stuff as well.
Okay.
And then you can put those in a separate playlist as well, like I was saying. So you could have like a just a name for the different series,
Okay.
for each playlist, and say,
Okay.
this is this podcast playlist, this is this one, this is that one. So then you'd have different categories.
Okay.
And then your
Um,
adult stuff is not going to show up in kid searches.
okay. Yeah. Because I mean, it's not, nothing is going to be like adult,
Oh, right.
like
Yeah.
anything inappropriate, but just like,
Yeah.
kids might not care that the radio learned your name or whatever,
Right.
just silly
Yeah.
stuff like that. Or like they're not going to get the same, like, you know,
References or, yeah.
overwhelming, like life's just overwhelming because they're a little less overwhelmed, hopefully, than the rest of us.
Oh, hopefully.
I know.
I met a
At least
7-year-old
until
with an
they're
anxiety disorder recently, and I was just like, you poor, poor child.
it's so common now,
I
and
was
it's
like,
just so
why?
sad. We don't get to play outside as much. I don't think there's as much like
Yeah.
just letting go and letting your imagination. It's all online, and you have to be worried about people talking to you, and are the right people talking to you, and how do you make friends, and what if it's just there's so many different ways to be made fun of, and
Yes. Yeah.
yeah, and everybody cares about that.
Yeah. And if you get pushed on the playground, you're not allowed to push back, things like that, you know?
Oh, yeah, exactly. I told my husband and I both said, if kids could hit back, life would probably be a lot simpler for everybody in school.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even my little brother, like one day when he was in high school, he was like on the ground in PE and a kid like kicked him with steel-toed boots. And I
Oh,
was like, why
no.
did you do nothing? And he was like, if I hit him or push him or anything, I could get expelled. And I was just like,
Oh,
what?
yeah,
I was like, I'm
seriously.
sorry. That could do like serious internal damage. What?
Absolutely.
So
It's
yeah, I
so
was
bad.
upset. And then
It's
his
so
friend
bad.
like jumped on the kid and like pulled him off of him and hit him. And then he got suspended. And I was like, what?
Oh, yeah. Like, oh, it's terrible.
Yeah,
It's
I was just like,
just
okay, one, where is the teacher?
right.
Two, this is, the math is
Yeah.
not mathing. I'm
Hmm.
like, okay, you use whatever force is necessary to stop someone from hurting you. Like that's the
Right.
law. Why is PE any different, you know? So
It's
that's
it's just terrible.
that's how
Like,
I feel about it. I'm
but
like,
I
you
feel like
obviously don't
parents,
like go above and beyond, but you stop the person.
yeah, absolutely. Parents have gotten just as bad. So, I mean, just
Crazy.
it is. It is.
Baffling.
It is.
Baffling. So yeah, I don't get it. I'm like, I definitely got sent to the principal's office a few times growing up for standing up to people. Like in kindergarten, somebody shoved my best friend, and she had
Aw.
been this little girl was a biter, and she'd been biting people for months. And
Mm-mm.
she had done so many things, like knocked over the Lincoln Logs and like taken our
Rude.
Barbies and like all these things, like all day. And something rose up in little kindergarten Vandy, and I turned around and I bit that girl as hard as I could. And I was not sorry. And they sent me to the
Nope.
principal, and I was like, I will not apologize. I was like, this girl has been biting people and harassing my friends for months. I was like, I will not apologize.
Your mom was probably like, I can't believe I have to go down here, but yes.
Yeah, so that
Ugh.
was that was interesting. My
Yeah,
uh
fun.
my dad actually told the principal, well, he was like, here's what's gonna happen. He was like, we've been hearing about this little girl for, half the year of the school year. And he was like, I'm going to take my little girl home and I'm going to teach her how to throw a punch. So you better make sure she stops being bullied. And he
Right?
was like, I'm not punishing her. Bye. And he did. And he was like, don't hit him in a place that'll hurt you. Hit him like somewhere soft where,
Yeah,
it like
exactly.
tells them a message, but like not in the teeth or something.
Yes, we don't need
So,
your knuckles cut. Not
yeah,
at all.
exactly. Yeah. So I was like, okay. So my dad taught me how to punch a bully when I was like
That's
5.
amazing. That's
I'm
so
like, the
awesome.
world has clearly changed.
Right?
But that little girl was no longer in my class after that. So I don't know what happened, but
Oh,
yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah. He was like, she has put up with this for so long, you know.
Right.
It
Like,
was
why
like
do I
clearly
have to
the
keep?
teachers have done nothing.
Yeah, exactly. The teachers are like,
Yeah.
finally.
So yeah, I to this day I'm like, I'm really not sorry I bit her. You
No,
know?
I don't blame you. That's just,
She
ugh.
shoved my best friend and made her cry, you know?
Aw, terrible.
I know. I was like, cut that out. So,
As you should be.
you
As you
know.
should be.
But it's shocking to me how many times growing up I would stand up to a bully and then the bully and I would get in trouble. And I was
Yeah,
like, where were you, teacher?
right, right. Oh my gosh,
Not
yeah.
standing up for this other kid at the
Right.
playground. I'd be like, I have told on them already, and then everyone calls me a tattletale, and you did nothing. So
I know. I
I
mean,
handled it,
you
and
needed
now
a
I'm in trouble.
you needed to write it down every time. Like,
Crazy.
oh, yes.
Yeah. So it is what it is.
What are you
I
gonna
learned to
do?
use just my words though when I got older, you know.
Oh, well, yes. Yeah, that's good.
Because, you know, if you bite them, that doesn't go down so well when you're in like fifth grade.
Yeah, it's one thing in kindergarten. When you get a little older, it doesn't work so well.
I wasn't even a biter. I just did it because she bit everybody else.
Right?
I was like, you have bitten me many a time. So,
Yeah. Here you
yeah.
go. Did she continue biting people after you bit her?
I don't know because I didn't see her anymore after
Oh,
that.
okay.
So
All
I
right.
don't know what happened to her. Hopefully she got some help, went to counseling. I don't know because she was
Yeah.
clearly an angry little girl.
I just remember my brother when I mean, he was probably like two. Him and this other little girl that my mom was watching were the same age and they were sitting in the same chair. My brother was a hitter and he would
Oh,
hit this girl. And finally, she just took off her shoe and smacked him in the face, which is hilarious. But
ah,
he never hit anybody again. It's like, oh, that stinks.
that is kind of amazing, though. It's
Yeah.
like you learned a lesson.
Yep, exactly. Somebody just had to put you in your place. And since she's
Yeah.
two, we can all, like, parents
Yeah.
can't hit you.
I was watching a preschool class at church one time and there was this one little boy who like every single week would pick on this one little girl and she would just come crying to me and I had tried everything and I was
Hmm.
like I am at a loss. I no longer know what to do. And I was like, girlfriend, you gotta stand up for yourself. Next time he hits you, you hit him back. And she was
Yeah,
just like, what? And I was like,
right.
we've tried everything else. I don't know what else to tell you. And the other person watching the kids was like, was that the right thing to do? And I was like, I don't know what else to do, but this little girl does not need to grow up thinking it's okay for boys to
To
hit her.
Yeah,
And I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, he hits you because he likes you. That's
right,
just crap.
right.
So then he like ran up to her and shoved her on her butt. And she like for a second, I was like, oh, she's gonna cry again and come running to
Hmm.
me. And instead she went, "Whoa." And she just stood up and she pushed him back. And he like plopped on his booty and he was just like stunned for a second. And she was like, ha! And she like ran away and was empowered. And I was just like, heck yeah, girlfriend. He
That's so
never
funny.
messed with her again.
Never again.
I was like, thank you.
See, and
So
she didn't even hit him. She just
she
pushed
didn't.
him. Yeah,
Yeah. She was like, you
fine.
pushed me, I'm gonna push you back. And he never messed with her or really anyone else any other time I was there again. I was like, alrighty then. And that little
That's so
girl
funny.
never wallowed in self-pity and came sobbing to me again. She like
Right?
handled her stuff. I was like, she learned a good life lesson today.
Yes, absolutely.
She is strong and powerful.
Yes.
3 years old. I was like, sorry, not sorry.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. No, she shouldn't be ashamed of herself, and you did the
Exactly.
right thing. Her parents should have
I
told
think
her to
so.
hit him back. Holy crud.
I know, right? I was like, this has been like 8 weeks in a row that this little boy has been punching you,
Oh,
girl. I was like,
yeah, that's a lot of time.
there have been a lot of timeouts, a lot of talking and reasoning, and
Hmm.
let's pray about it. And I was like, clearly
Yeah.
it's not working anymore. So
I feel
or it
like,
never did. So I was
yeah,
like,
no.
you just got to hit him back. And she was just
Especially
like,
with boys, they don't
yeah.
understand.
And the other teacher was like in the Army Reserves. And I was like, would you let a boy hit you with no consequence? And she was like, oh, heck no. And I was like,
Yeah,
well, there you go. I was like, I'm an artsy chick and I wouldn't let a boy hit me. So,
right?
she was like, okay. She was like, I'm not gonna take responsibility for it, but you go for it.
Right?
I was like, what are they gonna do? Find someone else to watch the preschoolers?
Yeah. Oh,
No big
darn.
deal. While the moms have their Bible study.
Yeah, right? Oh, gosh.
So, yeah,
That's hilarious.
I hope that I empowered that girl in life.
She's gonna take it with her forever.
I hope so. I had a girl tell me that her brother, she was like, you told him when he was like 6 years old at church, she was like, you told him to drink milk and eat spinach to be strong like Popeye. And she was like, he's like 26 now and he still does it. I was like, sweet.
Yes.
She was like, any spinach in the house, he devours it. I was
That's
like,
so funny.
good for him.
Yes. That's
I
a lot
got a
of
child to eat
spinach.
their vegetables, you know?
There you go. Yes, absolutely.
I was like, dang. She was like, he still does. He just like
That's so
internalized that.
funny.
And I was just like a teenager at the time. I'm like,
Yeah.
cool.
You're just like some like weird throwaway comment ended up
Yeah.
changing somebody's life.
I know. I'm like, what were we at like a church fish fry or something? I don't know. And I was
Right?
like, eat your coleslaw? I don't know. You know? Eat your vegetables, young man. It'll make you
Yes.
strong.
Yes.
But yeah, she was like, he's still to this day. It's just like in him now. He's like,
That's
spinach.
hilarious.
I
That's
was
so
like,
cute.
sweet. So,
Uh,
you
yes.
know, you never know. So be careful what you say to children, apparently.
Yeah.
Those were clearly not horrible things to say to them, but they
Yeah,
might really take you seriously. Alrighty, so
true.
we
Yeah.
are going to focus on this more storytelling
Mm-hmm.
style, going more based on like old time radio vibes,
Yes.
where
Yes,
instead
yes.
of TVs, families would gather around the radio, which
Yes.
personally I'm a big fan of. I grew up listening to those kind of things, so I personally love those things. We listened to all the like old-timey radio dramas with my grandparents,
Okay.
or like things like Focus on the Family has like Adventures in Odyssey,
Odyssey.
The
Mm-hmm.
Legend of Squanto and stuff. So, um, or like the Bonhoeffer radio drama, or
Right, right.
Screw Tape Letters radio dramas, those kind of things. So we grew up listening to those. Anytime we had a long car trip, it was like we'd listen to one of the Focus on the Family
Radio
radio
dramas.
dramas.
Fun.
Yes.
That's
Um,
way more fun than listening to the same three songs over and over again. So,
it keeps you mentally engaged. You're like, I'm gonna follow the
yeah.
story.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
yeah. Um, so yeah, it was kind of cool to, get to listen to radio dramas instead of, like you said, the
Yes.
same three songs on the radio over and over again.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
yeah. So I personally really love them and think they're great. And
Yes.
my grandparents also like always listened to Paul Harvey and everything. So,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
so that was like my grandma always tuned in. So she was like, "Oh, I can't miss Paul Harvey." So
No, you can't miss the
we,
rest of the
gather in the
story,
kitchen and hear Paul Harvey. So
right? That's pretty awesome because
yeah,
I don't think a lot of people know that
even like who
anymore.
that is. Yeah.
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 And I'm always telling people, I'm like, there was this actor and he was famous and he did this thing. I heard it on Paul Harvey. Can't remember anybody's names,
Oh, yeah. You're like, but
but
I
it
am
was really
inspired by
cool,
it. Yes.
right? You'd
I do
never
that.
know that John Wayne got beat up all the time.
Oh,
That is one that I heard recently that
oh, and you're like, what? Who would
yeah,
mess
like
with John
every day
Wayne?
it was like the same thing. Like every day he would go running past this guy's auto shop and the bully would be running behind him and would end up hitting him. And so one day the guy at the auto shop stopped him and was like, "Stop. You have to stop running. You have to stick up for yourself. Doesn't matter how hard you hit him, just hit him back." And I guess he did the same thing as that little girl. Like he hit him and the kid fell down and that was the end of
Amazing.
it. Yeah. I'm like, all
So
right.
bullies are just part of life, clearly.
Right?
Even John Wayne had to deal with bullies.
Exactly. Aw, poor old John Wayne.
But then, when he grew up, I bet that guy was like, oof, good
Yeah.
thing I didn't keep picking on this guy.
I used to hit that guy in the mouth. That was his claim to fame.
Yeah, I don't know that that would be the claim to fame I would prefer personally, you know.
Right. Right?
I think
Ugh.
I'd be like, no, thank you.
Yeah, exactly. I'm good. Thank you.
Okay,
All
so
right.
with with this, do you have any ideas of um like scripts? Did you find anything that could work for this, or um do you want to take like an actual transcript of like a Paul Harvey story, things like that?
So like I with the help of ChatGPT have made like a couple of scripts just for like my bedtime story kind of thing.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah, so let's see. They all have like other cues in like there's so many cues in here. Just as far as like, this is when you do this, this is when you do that. But I think that I like it. I think the scripts are okay. Um, and like I said, like I've been kind of experimenting with having like you have your um big mama C whatever storyteller main character lady and then having like a little like okay, you're on the air now kind of producer off to the side that throws in a couple of things at the beginning and at the end. I'm not quite sure that that's where I want it to go yet,
Sure.
but it's just, a
Yeah, and you can
little
kind of play and develop the voice that you want more, with time. So,
yes. So, I'm like, I can just read you. I think the thing that's going to be the hardest is just being very slow.
got
So,
it. Yeah, that you're like, I really want to go faster.
right, because it is
Yeah.
very slow.
My pace tends to be, default pace tends to be a little bit faster as well.
Hmm.
And for narration, we tend to go a little bit slower. So that is
Hmm.
something you'll have to check in with yourself and slow down.
Hmm.
So,
Yes.
yeah. All right. So let's take one of those
Okay.
and see what we come up with. So just this initial first read through. Don't feel like it has to be perfect or anything. It's just, this is where we're at,
Okay.
just to get us
Mm.
going.
Get us going. All right. You're tuned in to Big Mama C's Midnight Hour, where the lights stay low, the world stays quiet, and we don't rush a thing. If you found me tonight, then something in you decided not to go to sleep just yet. That's all right. There's room for you here. Mm. Then it
Yeah. Do you
has a
want to do
long
just
break. I
that
mean,
much of it for now?
yeah, I mean, I can read more. That's
Just kind of like
fine.
the intro moment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, good. So, what did you think of things like the pacing, the pitch, the intonation and the flow, like the rise and fall? How did we feel about the phrase shaping, um, the dialect? What did we like about it?
I like the sound. I like the warmth and the kind of deep resonating voice.
Yeah.
Um, I think that pacing wise, it probably does need to be a little slower.
Okay.
Um, but I think that it's a good first run for like the emotional feel and the like just the way that the words hit.
Yeah, good. So I would say too, keep in mind that people have the option to speed up or slow down. So if you
Okay.
start to feel like you get so slow that it's dragging and loses momentum, it's probably too slow. Even
Right.
if other people would go that slow, if it feels like really, really inauthentic and artificial, it might be too slow. So
Right.
let's
Okay.
go ahead and try a little bit slower. But then let's kind of see, you know if we feel like it still feels, like it has that energy and it keeps moving forward.
Okay. Yeah, because that's one of my other things, like, especially for me listening, I know a lot of times people take kind of long breaks between like changes in a scene, but
Yeah,
it's not even chapter changes, it's just changes in a scene. And I'm
right.
like, is that the end? What's
Yeah, I
happening
feel
right now?
like
And I don't want to
I
do
leave a
that.
gap, but not
Mhm.
like it's slightly longer than, the end of a sentence, but it's not crazy, it might be like 2 seconds max where it's like, and then I go into
Right.
the next, right? So it's like one, 1,000, two, 1,000, So I put the pause, but I'm not gonna make it so crazy long that they're like, is it over?
Hello. The ending of the book in the middle. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. You're tuned in to Big Mama C's Midnight Hour, where the lights stay low, the world stays quiet, and we don't rush a thing. If you found me tonight, then something in you decided not to go to sleep just yet. That's all right. There's room for you here.
Okay. Nice. I did not feel like it was too slow. I felt
Okay,
like it
awesome.
still kept me engaged the whole time. So I think that's a good speed. I think if
Okay.
we go much slower than that, it'll start to feel a little draggy. But I thought that was a good pace for, bedtime stories, helping people kind of unwind for the day. Um, I like the warm tone, and I think that the dialect is working great. I think that the deeper pitch works really nicely for that, you know, kind of lulling them into this warm, cozy, fuzzy
Right.
feeling. So I think everything we're aiming for, we're definitely we're definitely moving in the right direction.
Okay.
So very nice.
Yay.
Um, yeah. So then, anything we would want to change about it, though?
Um, I think mostly just the one thing that I can't settle on is that last line, there's room for you here, is where to really emphasize in that one sentence. Um, and I also want to make sure that you kind of get the feeling that there's a little smirk and a wink without,
Yeah.
that kind of like, let me
Teasing,
help you. Yeah.
playful. Yeah.
Um, that's sweet and not too serious, but like the same kind of thing that you would get from, I don't know, like a lady who works in a diner all night kind of a
Sure.
thing. Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Like, how a bartender is also like a therapist, kind of a
Right,
feeling,
exactly.
where you can like go to the all night diner and get some good advice from the
Yes.
the lady who's been there for 40 years or whatever.
Assuming she's not cranky, but yes.
Yes. Yeah. Hopefully
Yeah.
she just had a piece of pie or something.
Yeah, right?
And a cup of coffee, right?
That
So,
would be awesome.
yeah,
Yes.
I love that. So that was kind of something I was thinking as well, thinking about what are the things we want to really emphasize and bring out,
Yeah.
like those really important moments,
Hmm.
um, and putting a little bit of a stronger point of view on them. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
So let's go ahead and try that again.
Okay. You're tuned in to Big Mama C's Midnight Hour, where the lights stay low, the world stays quiet, and we don't rush a thing. If you found me tonight, then something in you decided not to go to sleep just yet. That's all right. There's room for you here.
Okay, nice. All right. So, what did you think of that take? I definitely heard some different inflection, different perspectives. Like that's all right, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So definitely you articulated some things differently, which I thought worked really beautifully and I really enjoyed. So, what were some of your favorite moments there?
Um, I think I liked the way that the last sentence came out at the end. I think that I liked a little bit more the lights stay low, the world stays quiet, and we don't rush. So that's kind of,
Yeah.
I think I got each of those like keywords pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Good. I thought so too. I also think, even though generally we are staying lower, having a little bit more inflection worked better.
Yes.
It allowed for a little more contrast, which,
Okay.
like you really wanted to draw attention to that last phrase. And I think
Hmm.
going up a little bit higher on the previous phrase, so you could go back down lower in pitch on that
Okay.
final phrase helped to emphasize and bring that out a little bit more
Okay.
and to hear it in a different way.
Okay.
So
Awesome.
yeah, like very comforting and warm and welcoming.
Yay.
Yeah.
That's great.
Because I had like a little more teasing, playful tone right before.
Right.
So yeah, it that contrast really brought that into focus.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I think the other thing that I am kind of working on is to make sure that it's intimate so that it's just you and me. Like I'm just telling my story to you.
Yeah.
There's not maybe anybody else out there, but it's just let me tell you a story because
Yeah.
obviously you can't sleep.
Aw.
So,
Fair.
yeah.
I like it. So I
Yes.
really enjoyed that. So I
Okay.
say let's go ahead and do the next chunk.
Okay. Let's see. Some nights the radio feels louder than it really is. Not because the volume's up, but because the world finally quieted down enough to hear it. And tonight feels like the kind of night where the air itself is listening back. You don't need to call in. You don't need to say a word. I already know you're there.
Nice. Okay, good. So for this section, how do you
Mm.
think that it is similar and how is it different to that opening section?
I think that maybe it should be it should feel a little bit more like singular or intimate with
Okay.
so like we started here, everybody's welcome, yay. And then kind of more of a like a lean in, let me tell you what's going on. I don't know if I can exactly get that to come through in a vocal without like actually doing
Yeah.
it, but I want it to feel that way.
hmm Okay, great. So, um, yeah, so there's a tonal shift that happens here.
Sure. Yeah.
Um, and what do you think here, if you were going to be really succinct, what's the goal of this section?
Um, this section I think is going to be the first start of our relationship. So this is where I'm gonna I want to pull you in. I want to make you a little bit interested so that it's the anticipation, maybe the buildup of our story. So I'm not telling you
Love
your
it.
story yet, but I'm telling you that you're gonna have a nice calming time.
Great. Awesome. So you're kind of prepping them mentally for what's to
Yes.
come. Got it.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, so it was the welcome, we're glad you're here, and then now it's the let's get you like focused and in the zone and ready for
Yes.
the next part.
Yeah. I didn't
Okay.
realize there was extra more down there. So maybe I'll read the whole thing this time.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right. Some nights the radio feels louder than it really is. Not because the volume's up, but because the world finally quieted down enough to hear it. And tonight feels like the kind of night where the air itself is listening back. You don't need to call in. You don't need to say a word. I already know you're there. Because when you've been doing this long enough, you start to recognize a silence that isn't empty. You start to recognize the kind of quiet that has a heartbeat. So, settle in, honey. Let your shoulders drop. Let the day fall off of you. I'm going to tell you about the night the radio learned a name and the strange, tender way it happened.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, I think adding that that next chunk
Yeah.
definitely works. Yeah.
Yeah.
For kind of, what we were saying the goal is for this section and then getting that little transition moment. I think that's great.
Yes.
So what did you feel like you did differently for this time through?
I think that I kind of tried to shift a little bit in each, here in the first part, it was like, yes, let sometimes it's hard to be quiet. And then kind of shift into, listen, I've been doing this a long time. You can trust me.
Yeah.
And then slow down to, let the day fall off of you. And here's a story.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So having these small beat shifts where
Hmm.
it's like, okay, here it's more of this action, and then here it's more of this emotion, and here, we have another change of perspective. So taking them on that journey where it doesn't
Yes.
feel just like all the same, it feels like, you know, we want them to feel, like this is a lullaby kind of a feeling. But at the same time, we don't want them to be too bored where they're
Right.
like just going to turn it off. Um, so it has to be engaging enough to keep them, wanting to hear more, wanting
Yes.
them to tune in again. Um, and, you know, it's almost like a visualization exercise or like a meditative experience, but at the same time, in a visualization exercise, it's not like, you just watch the grassy field of flowers and the breeze blowing the whole time. It's like, now
Right.
notice the bird in the tree, and then now we're gonna notice that there's a little fox who just entered the meadow. So it has to have those moments of change to it.
Yes.
Um, so yeah, I think that's an important aspect is having
Hmm.
those beat shifts. Um, so I agree. I thought that was improved. I liked that. Anything else you can think of that you feel like if you did differently would make it more compelling, more engaging, more of the sound that we're going for? What do you think?
Um, I think maybe I could make a bigger beat shift or like a more definitive beat shift with each section.
Okay.
Um,
I think
especially after, yeah, go ahead.
with that, how do you do that? what are some of the tools that you can use to create a stronger beat shift?
Sure. So I think with our first section, that's talking about like it's hard to settle down when it's been loud. Maybe just make it a little bit more brighter. Still keep that warmth in that same tone, but just make it a little more like, hey, I know it's hard. Um, and then make the next section um maybe a tiny bit like I want to say jovial. I don't know if that's the right word to use,
Okay.
but like, like, hey, you can trust me. I've been doing this a really long time. And then just leaving it with a um very calming, take your, sit down, take a load off. Um, let's get into it.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Now let's see if I can actually do that. Okay. Some nights the radio feels louder than it really is. Not because the volume's up, but because the world finally quieted down enough to hear it. And tonight feels like the kind of night where the air itself is listening back. You don't need to call in. You don't need to say a word. I already know you're there. Because when you've been doing this long enough, you start to recognize a silence that isn't empty. You start to recognize the kind of quiet that has a heartbeat. So, settle in, honey. Let your shoulders drop. Let the day fall off of you. I'm going to tell you about the night the radio learned a name and the strange, tender way it happened.
Lovely. Nice. I really enjoyed the like it has a much stronger, I feel like, beginning and end.
Hmm.
Um, so I really enjoyed that. And it's not the same character by any means, but you know how Medea has just this like sure, like
Hmm.
confident, like I've lived life, I know what I'm saying, I have good advice kind of attitude and like a little bit of like play and
Sass.
fun and sass. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's just like a little, a little teensy bit of that
Yes.
in there, which I really enjoyed. So it stays in character, but you've got this confidence and self-assurance and like wisdom of having lived life, but then also this sense of like, you can't take anything too seriously in life, kind of a
Yeah.
thing, you know? And I think that just adds a really nice, well-roundedness to the character.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
Yay.
Yeah, and then you kind of shifted into that more like, okay, now let's get into the story and like let's get back to like a sleepier feeling, you know?
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
which I thought worked really beautifully.
Super.
So I think, what we
Yay.
talked about with keeping them engaged, but
Hmm.
keeping them like wanting to hear the next part, but also keeping them in that, you know, bedtime story mode. I think that works really nicely.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. So, is
Yay.
there anything you would change about it, or were you happy with that?
I think I was pretty happy with that. I really
Yeah.
liked that second go around.
Yeah, I was too. I really enjoyed that. So, let's go ahead and try the next chunk.
Super. Let's see. All right. Where did it start? Okay. Back when the city still had more late night diners than late night apps, there was a little station on the edge of town. Not the fancy kind with glass walls and bright logos. This one had wood paneling that remembered cigarettes, an n- sorry, and a neon on-air sign that buzzed like it had secrets. The name of the station was WMRN, but the regulars called it the warm one because no matter how cold it got outside, no matter how sharp the wind was, or how empty the streets looked, the station always sounded like a lamp in the corner of a room. Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So, obviously, we just need to practice this section a little
Yeah.
bit more just because we had a little fumble. No big deal.
Yeah.
Um, so, for this section, we're getting actually into the story now, right?
Right.
Um, so, hmm, who would you say is the main character?
I think we're gonna get to a female DJ, and
Okay.
she's gonna be the main character, and it's gonna be her and the radio that have some sort of friendship.
Yeah. So, the
Yeah.
radio itself is a
Yes.
character, right?
Yes.
Um, and so that I think is kind of a unique aspect of this story.
Hmm.
So then also, what do you think if you gave this just kind of like an overall mood for the story? What do you think that would be?
I want to say welcoming, like a
Okay.
welcoming mood, because you are finding somebody who maybe doesn't feel like they're part of or whatever. I think that's the premise of the story is
Mm.
really like there's somebody out there who is alone and they want to be a part. And
So that
so
would
this,
be kind of the main message
yes,
too,
yeah.
right? Like
Hmm.
you are not alone. You have a place you belong.
Right. Like I'm always here to tell you a story.
Yeah.
Listen
So
to
that
me.
was my
Yes.
second question, which is
Yeah.
like, what's the point? Like, why are we telling this story? Is there a goal to it, right?
Yes.
Um, Excellent. So, we really want to think about, that person we're directing this to, who's that person who maybe feels alone, and we're
Hmm.
saying you're not alone. You have a place you belong, right?
Right. Hmm.
So really bring that out as well.
Okay.
Yeah. All right,
Okay.
let's go ahead and try that again.
Alrighty. Back when the city still had more light diners, let me start again. Back when the city still had more late night diners than late night apps, there was a little station on the edge of town. Not the fancy kind with glass walls and bright logos. This one had wood paneling that remembered cigarettes and a neon on air sign that buzzed like it had a secret. The name of the station was WMRN, but the regulars called it the warm one because no matter how cold it got outside, no matter how sharp the wind was, or how empty the streets looked, that station always sounded like a lamp in the corner of a room.
Okay, good. All right, and there are some interesting like text painting things, like it's sounding like a lamp in the corner of the room. There are some
Yeah.
interesting descriptions here. So I'd love to hear a little bit more of those strong points of view when
Okay.
you have those. So know like what you're trying to say when you have those really vivid text painting moments where you're like painting a picture because that's a strong visual, right? Like the warm
Right.
glow from a lamp, in the corner of the room, like it feels like it lights up the darkest night, kind of a feeling. Have in
Okay.
mind what it is you're really trying to communicate there. Um, because if you just read it, it's like they'll feel like, what does she mean by that? But if
Right, right.
you know what you mean by it and you have a very clear point of view, they're going to stay emotionally engaged because you are.
Okay.
right?
Okay. Yeah.
So just make sure that you really lean into those moments and have a really strong point of view there and a strong emotional connection to those spots. Um, what was your favorite thing about this time through? It definitely was improved from the last time.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that there's a little more like emphasis and emotional projection in that last paragraph.
Yeah.
But yeah, I see what you're saying because some of those things are like wood paneling that remembers cigarettes. Like that's not going to mean a lot to children or like
Right. They'll be
to
like, what are
young
you talking
adults. They'll be
about?
like,
Yeah.
"Ooh,
It
what
has
does
to be
that
someone who
mean?"
has seen and experienced the like 70s wood paneling
Right,
vibes, you
right.
know? Yeah. Right. Like
Um,
my granny had this crazy thick, like long green shag carpeting, which
oh yeah.
other people hated. I thought it was awesome. It was so soft and fluffy. And
Yeah.
like as a kid, I was like, I love this carpet.
Oh yeah. We had like burnt orange carpet in our house. It was, but it
Nice.
wasn't like long shag carpet. It was just that like stamped low pile kind of.
Mm.
And my grandparents had in their kitchen, they had vinyl that was printed to look like bricks.
Oh, okay. All
Yep, and their
right.
carpet in their living room was printed with a wood pattern, so it looked like it was a carpet wood floor.
Oh.
It was
Yeah, so
terrible.
see, these are things that, like kids today would be like, I have no idea what you're talking about, right?
Right, right.
Yeah. So it's, actually the wood paneling helps with sound. So it actually is good for helping to dampen sound. So
Oh, nice.
yeah, like the different layers of different materials. So so it actually
Super.
can be helpful for that. So, if I was gonna like I wanna, have a quieter like from my neighbors in an apartment or something, it actually can be really helpful. Um,
Nice.
so yeah, so it's different styles, but you're right. There are a lot of references that kids today probably wouldn't have any reference for.
Right.
But an older audience is going to be like,
Oh,
it's going to be
yeah. The
very
smell of
reminiscent.
disgusting cigarettes.
Ah, yeah, like I mean, I remember, as a kid, people smoking in restaurants and things, and
Yeah.
smoking or non-smoking, that, all that. So,
Oh, yeah.
it's, and nowadays kids would be like, "What? People smoked in restaurants?"
I
You
know. I was like, we
know?
used to smoke in the mall.
Yeah.
I went on a flight to Spain and I smoked on the plane. How weird is that?
Oh, what a world, right?
I know. I'm
My
glad that
my
it's not
grandpa
like,
talked about recently how just like luxurious flights were when he was younger. Like, I was like, this sounds like a private jet experience. Like he was like,
oh,
yeah,
yeah.
like
No.
you could walk around with a cocktail,
Mm-hmm.
like stand at a table. I was like, what?
Oh, my. I didn't even know about that. Holy
I know. I was like,
moly. Were
what?
you in
I
first
don't
class?
I don't know. Like I know he worked for an airline for a little while, but he was like he just said it was such a different experience than like, and I was like, man, now you're like sardines just all
Oh, I
scrunched
know.
in and they're like, don't get out of your seat and
Oh, I know. On that same flight to Spain, there was like, it was only half full. So I switched over to a middle aisle and I was just able to lay down across three chairs and go to sleep. I was like,
Ooh.
this is amazing. When
That's
I went to
great.
England more recently, I had to sit up in my chair the whole time. And I was like, oh, I want to be rich enough to fly first class.
No. Those ads where it's like people laying out with like eye covers and they have their own little like cubby hole. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I've literally never even been on a flight where you see that.
Yeah,
I'm like, is that a real thing? Is
I
it?
know.
I've
Ugh.
gone on long flights. I just like, you know, had to
Yeah.
suffer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. It's no
Yeah.
fun.
I know, like flying across the ocean and it's like you're stuck in your little box.
I know. I'm like, okay, we're gonna get there. I try to fly. Like if I have
Eventually.
to do long flights, I try to do it at night so that I don't have to worry about it. I'm already tired.
At least you can
Maybe I'll
sleep,
take a
right?
Benadryl.
Yeah. You're like, hopefully I can just sleep through the whole thing.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. Ugh.
Yeah, I feel ya. And you're gonna have jet lag anyway, so it's like, might as
Right,
well.
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, I see those and I'm just like, are these real airplanes? Like, where do you even find these to book them? Like,
I
I
know.
clearly, on Delta or whatever, like
No,
I
probably
clearly don't
not.
even know what airline to like go look on.
It's probably like Emirates Airline or something ridiculous like
There
that,
we
where all
go.
the rich people go.
Yeah, I guess so.
Mm,
Yeah, I'm just like
yes.
I don't have any reference for this. I'm like I just fly like a normal person.
Right? Ugh.
But then I'm also like, would I rather take more trips and be less fancy
Right.
or take fewer trips and be more fancy,
Yeah.
So
I think that changes the older you get. Where you're like,
maybe.
I really need to be comfortable now. When you're
Yeah.
young, you're like, whatever. I'll
You're like, I
be
can
5 people
suffer
deep.
so that I can
Yeah.
travel more. Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. Then you get to
maybe.
an age where you're like, my back hurts and I just want to be comfortable and enjoy my time.
And then stay home the rest of the time so you're
Yes,
comfortable all
exactly.
the time. Yeah.
Exactly.
That makes sense. Yeah. I could see that.
Yeah.
You get to the point where you're like, the first class ticket is worth it.
Yes.
I always look at like the upgrades and sometimes it's like, oh, for like $100 I can upgrade this stretch of it. Why not,
Yeah, absolutely.
But
Absolutely. It does make it worth it.
when
But
it's
now they
like
charge for everything,
700, I'm
so
like, no thanks.
no. I know. I just paid like $25 to be able to get on the plane earlier, like to do like the second boarding group. I was like,
And you were
oh,
like, it's worth it so I can like
it
take my
was.
carry-on and settle in
Hmm.
and like pull out my iPad and
Yep.
like get
I didn't
myself in
have
the
to
zone.
worry about there not being space in the overhead or my
Yeah.
bags being checked. I was like, I'm just gonna go and get on there and then I'll have to move if somebody else gets in the row, but it'll be fine.
Yeah. Settle in. I always
Yes.
think though, I'm like, I feel like it'd be smarter to have like window seats be seated first and then the middle seats and then the aisle seats, And
Yeah.
that's not how they do
Uh,
it.
no, it's not.
But I'm like, that would make more sense because then you
It
have people
would.
getting up and down and up and down.
Oh, I know.
I'm like, wouldn't
Gosh.
that be faster? I don't know.
Well, and on this plane too, like you couldn't even move around people in the aisle. The aisle was so narrow that if you had people that were
Yikes.
more than like teenage stick figures, you couldn't move
Oh,
around them. And then you have a line of people trying to get in the bathroom. And I was like, this is not great. You need to make at least one space where people can get around each other.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
leave one
Agreed.
chair out of somewhere so they can, back up or whatever. Because everybody ended up having to go into the galley so that
Yeah.
the next person could get in and they could go through. It was terrible.
Oh,
But
it's
what
just
do
like
I know?
traffic jam extraordinaire.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty impressive how much they pack it in now.
it is. Yes.
Yeah. Well, um,
Yes.
so for this section, um, I want to do it again
Okay.
and maybe think about giving a personality to each of these people, places, things.
Okay.
So like the lamp or the wood paneling or the cigarettes, like try to give them a little bit of a personality,
Okay.
you
All
know,
right. All right.
so that you have a definite feeling towards them, or like you're helping the listener to have a definite feeling towards them. So even if someone was like, I haven't experienced that, they still know how they should feel about it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. Back when the city had more late night diners than late night apps, there was a little station on the edge of town. Not the fancy kind with glass walls and bright logos. This one had wood paneling that remembered cigarettes and an on air sign that buzzed like it had secrets. The name of the station was WMRN, but the regulars called it the warm one because no matter how cold it got outside, no matter how sharp the wind was, or how empty the streets looked, that station always sounded like a lamp in the corner of a room.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely got more of that feeling. And I felt like
Okay.
you slowed down at those
Yeah.
moments too. Like you let me have time to really process
Okay.
what the feeling was, but it
Okay.
didn't feel slow.
Okay. Good.
Yeah, what
Very
did you
good.
think?
Yeah, I think I like that more also. I think I might go back and change like a couple of these things. Um, I understand the lamp in the corner of the room, but I
Yeah.
feel like maybe it needs to be phrased differently to make it understandable by everyone.
Hmm.
Um, just give it more of a, it always had a, or there was a sound like that was always there, like a lamp in the corner of the room or something like that.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, because I think that's what the impression is supposed to be. Like it's always there. You don't always know it's there. Or like you always know it's there, but you don't always recognize it.
Right,
Maybe.
exactly. It doesn't stand out to you. Like if it
Yeah,
wasn't there, you'd notice that.
right.
But because it's there, you don't notice.
Right,
Right?
exactly.
Like if the light was missing, you would be like, "Well, I can't see." But if
Yeah,
it's there, you're just like,
yeah.
you
You'd be
just
like,
go
why
on
is
with
it
life.
so quiet in here?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, um, good. So I thought that was a lot better. Is there
Thank you.
anything you would change about it?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
when
So
I
you're
do
pretty
it
happy with
again,
it.
it might change a little bit, but I think
Yeah.
that's a pretty good
Yeah, I definitely thought it was more like on track with where I'd like it to go. Um,
okay.
I feel like one more run through though, and we might
Sure.
have it because
Okay.
I was like I feel like I can still tell you're thinking about it a little bit. I don't know that
Okay.
other people would, but like sometimes you just want to practice it a few times, get a little more comfortable with it. So let's try
Sure.
one more time.
All right. Back when the city still had more late night diners than late night apps, there was a little station on the edge of town. Not the fancy kind with glass walls and bright logos. This one had wood paneling that remembered cigarettes and a neon on air sign that buzzed like it had secrets. The name of the station was WMRN, but the regulars called it the warm one because no matter how cold it got outside, no matter how sharp the wind was, or how empty the streets looked, that station always sounded like a lamp in the corner of a room.
Okay. All right. So I felt like that you kind of relaxed into a little bit more. What did you think?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, where it just kind of flows a little bit more naturally feeling. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so it sometimes can just feel a little bit like you're thinking about what you want to do still. And so just, practicing it a tiny bit more
Sure.
gets a little more of a flow to it.
Yes,
Um,
absolutely.
because it's like you want those pauses and those moments of impact. But then you also want when you're in the midst of like, here's a smooth connected thought, you want that to feel really like a smooth connected thought.
Right.
So yeah, so I definitely thought that was more there that time. Excellent.
Okay, awesome.
Good. Yeah,
Yay.
so kind of thinking through, I feel like your ending is going to be a little bit similar to the beginning, but
Mm-hmm.
instead of welcoming them, you're kind of like wishing them well and sending them off,
Okay.
right?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I think I would recommend practicing this in the chunks like we've been doing. and
Okay.
going, what is the goal of this section? You know?
Okay.
And for this section, it's, to entertain them, to take them on this
Right.
journey, to, bring them through this story and have them leave their world and their mind and all the things that their brain gets wrapped up in, and they're like spiraling with what happened
Right.
today and what they need to do tomorrow. It pulls them out of the real world and, lets them go to this other place. And so
Okay.
um, that's kind of where you're at this point. So where do you think the rest of it's going to go? Just kind of looking through the rest of the chunks.
Sure. Let's see. So we have a part where like the radio starts to respond to the DJ and they begin to like build a friendship where that ends up being like years later they're still, the radio still ticks on when it hears her voice kind of a thing. So um I think you're building a story about how there's always somebody in your corner. Um and that it's important to have somebody that um, is just there to acknowledge you. Um, and so towards the end, I think it just tells you that like, hey, um, they learned each other's names and now I know that you're always there. So here's the whole goal of the story is that there's always somebody there to listen to you. There's always somebody there for you. Like even if they can't hear what you're saying, they're there to acknowledge you and accept and to show you that you are a person that matters.
Hmm.
And I think that's what they kind of try to leave it with, if I remember correctly. Yeah. So in the end, it's just like a wind down kind of to you end the story and then like there's just music after that. So hopefully by that time people are asleep.
Yeah. Hmm.
So,
Right. Yeah. You're like, hopefully at that point they feel,
right.
they feel better about everything.
Yeah,
So then, and they're, drifting off. So,
right.
yeah. So then, what would you say if you were going to um, give yourself like a few key takeaways? What would those be?
Um, to set the intentionality of each section
Hmm.
and then to give myself time to read it a few times through before really settling on where it's going to land.
Hmm. Good.
Yeah.
Awesome. And then if you were going to mm, maybe set a goal for yourself for the next week or so, what's that going
Sure.
to be?
I would like to get this recorded and then maybe send it off to you to listen to. And if you can stay awake long enough to listen to the whole thing, just if you have any notes or whatever, because I want to
Yeah.
make sure that it's all also produced right and all of that fun
Yeah.
stuff.
Hmm. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
Okie
So,
doke.
so then, um, what about over the next month? What
Hmm.
would you like to accomplish over the next month?
Maybe to get this done, I know I'm supposed to be like, I have somebody building like an avatar for me. So I want
Yeah.
to figure out how to use that thing. Uh, and then re-record it with like the lip syncing thing so I can have that person telling the story or that character set up.
Hmm.
So I need to learn how to use that and then also maybe trying to get like two of these done.
Hmm.
So I think that's kind of a simple, like it sounds small, but it's a small good step forward.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So then, great. Do you want to try to stay focused on your like 70s bedtime stories character, or do you want to try to brainstorm and create any other, like you were mentioning before, like a kid's story version. Do you want to focus on that at all?
Yeah, I think that might be fun to kind of like once I get a couple of these under my belt, I think like maybe working on a new um storyteller that maybe
Yeah.
does do little voices or whatever might be more fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Alrighty. Yeah, so I just was thinking back to what we talked about earlier on. So
Yeah.
making sure we stay on track with
On
all of
track.
that. Awesome. All right. So I think we got some really good work done
Yeah.
today. Um, and we're getting, where we're mm, polishing and refining the sound of
Yes.
this. Hopefully, ideally, each one you put out gets a little bit better each time. So,
Yeah, hopefully. That would be
yeah.
awesome.
So then, did you want to book out
Yeah,
for our next
absolutely.
lesson? Okay.
Let's see. So would May 11th work? That's a Monday.
Um, Possibly. Okay, so do you have any time? Let's see, maybe like 12:15
Sure, that's
to do
fine.
that?
Yeah.
All righty. Cool. All right. I
All
got you on the
right.
calendar, and then if anything changes, we'll just adjust
Sure. Thank you,
between now
Vandy.
and then.
Yeah, right?
All righty. Well, awesome work. This was very fun. I think that it's, getting better and better. So just keep up that good work, stay
Thank
focused,
you.
keep on track because it's that consistency that's going to build
Right.
over time. So
Yes.
awesome.
Thank you so much.
All right. Well, you sound great. I would never listen to it and be like, oh, that's Christy. So,
Oh, good.
but it sounds very natural and flows really beautifully. So
Awesome.
awesome work.
Thank you.
All right. Well, I will see you soon. I'm sure it'll fly
Okay.
by. So
Yes, I
have a
know.
good weekend
You
and
too.
we will chat soon. Send me a recording if you want me to listen. Like my
Yeah.
student Robert will send me YouTube videos that he'll post and things or like
Okay.
profiles that he's built on voiceover sites or whatever to check out. So feel free to do that. If you email me something, just send me a text message so I'll go look for it so it doesn't get
Absolutely.
lost in the abyss. My husband's like, I don't know how you can do that. Like he is on top of
Yeah.
his emails, and I'm just
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I can't keep up with them. I've given up at this point.
There's two
So
kinds of people, ones that have to look at their email and ones that don't. It's fine.
yeah, he's like one of those people who like you text or call, he's gonna get it. I could call
Yeah.
him at 3 a.m. and he's gonna be like, yes,
Yeah.
He'll be like groggy, but he'll be like, yes,
Right.
my
But he
dear.
will answer.
Right. And I'm like, you call me at 3 a.m. I will not even know till I wake up, you know?
And yeah, absolutely.
I'm like, I will have no idea. So
Yeah, no.
I'm like, it's not that I don't care. I just truly won't know.
Right?
So
If I was awake, I'd answer. It's fine.
yeah, I tell people I'm like, if it's really important, call him instead.
Yeah.
If you can't get me and it's like emergency situation, I'm like, you need to call him and he'll let me know. So
Yes.
he'll come find me, right? But yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
kind of funny. But yeah, I'm like, yeah, I've had friends be like, don't text me at like 11 at night. Wait till the morning. And I'm like,
Ugh.
why is your phone on at 11 at night then?
Yeah,
You know?
right? Like, turn it off. Holy
I'm like, mine
moly.
is not going to go off if I'm asleep. So, I'm like, okay, I'll keep that in mind. But
Yeah.
also, like, you could silence your phone.
Uh-huh. Exactly.
So, yeah.
Exactly.
So, I'm like, I respect the request and I will try to honor it.
Right.
But I just assumed you'd get it in the morning anyway.
Right.
So,
I just need to get it off of my head.
exactly. I'm like, I need like a scheduling app that's like, text them at this time because right now
Well,
it's in my head, right?
if you have an iPhone and they are also iPhone users, you can schedule it to send at a later time.
Oh, I should do that.
I do that for my mom all the time, and then I forget that I did that, and she
Oh.
responds to me, and I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
Oh,
And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I sent her a
all
message."
right. Yeah, that's funny. I should definitely use that though.
Yes, you should.
Just to be like more respectful of time
Yeah.
because it's just like my ADHD brain is like, I thought of it now, so I
Yes.
need to
So then
send it now.
it's out of your hands. You don't have to worry about it, but they don't have
And
to
otherwise,
listen
I
to
have
the
to like
ding
add it
at
to my
11.
to-do list, like
Yeah, no,
contact
that's
them
no
about
fun.
this. And I'm like, I'd rather just send it now. But I'm like, they're gonna think I'm a
Right.
weirdo for sending it at, 11:30 at night. And I'm like,
Yes, I know.
or 2 a.m.,
Gosh.
taking the dogs out to go potty or something. And it's like,
Yes.
I thought of
Well, I
it.
can't go back to sleep now.
I
Yeah.
know. I'm like, should I just send that email?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it takes all kinds of kinds. So
It does. It does. It wouldn't be fun if we didn't have multiple personalities.
I am definitely going to look that up though and figure out
Yeah,
how to do it because
absolutely.
I have an iPhone. So
Okay. Well, you know how you can get like the you press that little plus button and you can get like the
yeah.
GIF keyboard or whatever. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's in that. So if you just go down, it says schedule
Oh,
for later or something like that.
brilliant.
Yes.
This might be my new favorite thing.
Yay.
Then I can just set it to be like send at 9 a.m.
Right.
And I'll be
Exactly. And
like,
then
oh,
you
you're a reasonable person who doesn't
yeah, and you're like, not
wake
really,
up
but you can
randomly
think
at 3
so.
a.m. and think of random emails you forgot to send yesterday.
Exactly. Exactly.
So.
It's okay.
Alrighty. Well, awesome work today. I'm super excited to hear the recording when you get finished with it. It sounds great. So just keep on track with that.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Great work today. I'll see you soon. Bye,
Sounds
Christy.
good.